quick, and let's talk about your first interaction or your first transaction picking up ball pythons. Was it pies? I can't remember with you.
Yeah, so Rico Walder, my friend, gave me a het male pied ball python.
2010. That was early 2000s, right?
It was like probably 2005 maybe or something like that. It was, they were still worth a little bit.
Right.
But anyway, that kind of got me down the wormhole.
Right. And then that wormhole led to what? So it was pies. You went at pies. At what year did you hit the pied?
I don't. I did one season. 2 or 3 years. I had that snake alone for probably about 6 months, and then
the het.
Yeah, the het. Yeah.
Okay.
And then kind of went on I think I had come back from Daytona, or it must have been Daytona, and went on a roll buying shit. Just kind of got sucked in. Pieds, clowns. I always liked the recessive albinos. I had some albino stuff. I had some of the earlier morphs. I had, obviously pastel, spider, all that kind of stuff.
What was the stuff getting you most excited? Like you said, you went to Daytona. You're getting reeled in so many different directions. But what was it? So you said you had albinos, but is there anything else out there that was just making you like hungry to get after or make, or like what was your big drive with ball pythons? Was it just to be a wholesaler, or did you want to make Did you want to make the rarest and craziest shit?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make the nice, some of the nicest stuff. Wanted to make stuff that not everybody else was making. Kind of played the long game with the double recessives. Yeah. Looked at a bunch of normal looking snakes for a long time. Okay. So that's not a lot of. When you open the rack and every snake's a het, and just looks normal, it's not as fun as it is now. But it's taken a long time, to build it up.
Yeah, and also depends where your mindset's either. I mean, yeah, you're looking at hets, but what are you really looking at? Like, are you looking at right now? Are you looking at 3 years from now? Are you looking at like what it could possibly be when it's time to breed?
I was looking way ahead. But that's pretty much what you have to do.
Period. As far as like the clowns, right? Like when did that enter your world, or was it Ultra Bow that came into your world first?
I know it was clown first.
Okay.
I think I traded a guy in Florida at Daytona, a couple of chondros, and I got I don't remember, a nice group of clowns from him that were also blade. So one of the females that I got from him looked almost like a genetic stripe. It was so reduced. And that snake is kind of the founder of all of my clown stuff that I have now. Okay. So it's, I can't tell a normal from a blade, just a straight up blade. But so
you're not the only one who feels that way. And
yeah,
there's people who've actually just thrown the towel in on blade because of that. They're just like, what's the purpose?
Yeah, I can't tell them apart. So, but I'll have super blade and blade clowns just pop up all the time.
Right. And that you can't tell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can tell those.
Right. It's all about just numbers, man. You gotta keep rolling the dice. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. I had a funny story, but I had, in the beginning. So Marcial, I know you're not too you're not into like the social media like the way like a lot of people are, like myself. You know what I mean? I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
But I got into it in the sense where it was like I got, kind of not stuck in the drama, but there was drama, right? And it was all because just the people I chose to buy snakes from, right? And other people didn't. They had something to say about it, because you make friends, and obviously people are like, oh, you bought that snake from him, and it leads into all this other stuff that comes up, and it's like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah.
But it got so crazy with this blade gene one time. So shout out to my boy Chris Cercery over at Ball Pythons 101. He was one of the first people to like educate me and really help me in the right direction with ball pythons. And, you know, I believed everything he sold me, you know, and he sold me this pastel 100% head clown snake. And as it got a little bit bigger and shedded and whatnot, he messaged me. He's like, hey, man, I'm pretty sure that snake has blade in it. That's a pastel blade, 100% head clown. He's like, we'll find out, though. And I'm like, oh, man, that's awesome, right? So, of course, I started posting it as a pastel blade, 100% head clown. A lot of people didn't, not a lot of people, but small little portion of people didn't like that.
Didn't like that?
Yeah. So I had one character, and he reached out to me and kept telling me how like, hey man, you shouldn't post that has blade. It doesn't have blade. And I'm like, well, how do you know? Like you didn't breed it. And it was a back and forth thing to the point where the guy wanted to drive down and talk to me in person, basically. But it wasn't like, you know, hey, let's talk. It was like, hey, let's fight. Very stupid.
Let's fight.
Yeah, basically. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, Marcial. This hobby's helped me a long ways with, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I came into this hobby not really new to things, but I was like, is this how these fucking snake breeders are? Like, is this really how it goes down? You know what I mean? And it turns out it's really not everybody. It is unfortunately a small fucking portion of people who really think they're high and mighty. But either way, it came down to this guy and us having so much. Like, I got so over to like how much hate he was giving on this snake that I actually was able to produce the snake last year. And I paired it. It was a pastel blade, 100% clown paired to a blade clown, and I got a super blade clown out of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was the reward right there.
Yeah, you were redeemed.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's had me blocked for, I don't know, 2 years now ever since then. I don't know. I mean, who knows? But that feeling right there was like, holy shit, I knew it. I just believe, you know, I believe in the people I buy snakes from. I really do, because I technically don't buy from just random people unless it's a rare ass snake, and I don't.
Right.
Luckily,
I tend to, you know, buy mostly from people that I know, or, you know, somebody that I know can vouch for them or whatever, you know.
Yeah. So that was I'm telling you, that's kind of like the reward this hobby gives you. Even if there's no drama, which I don't hope there's none of that kind of drama for people, but it's the waiting game, because you don't have a choice. You have to wait, right? You're in a position where you're forced to wait, but then it kind of tells you like, hey, look, this is why you wait. Like, look what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's beauty why I love this, and I'm sure you've had a lot of experiences with that, you know, with all the different species you work with, the freaking heartbreak chondros, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty rough, right? I mean, if you could kind of, it's hard, right? But I mean, like, compare your success or your case by cases incubating chondro eggs compared to ball python eggs.
I mean, the eggs are pretty much, you know, they're maybe a little bit more sensitive, but I mean, I set them up exactly the same way. You know, they're all in the incubator together. They're all in the same, you know, maybe I use like a smaller egg box, but I mean, you know, they're all pretty much, they're in there with the ball python eggs. And, you know, I've tried it a couple of different ways. My first clutch was actually like, you know, stuck in vermiculite. And then, you know, I think one clutch I started, you know, putting them in little dishes over water. Now I just use like saturated perlite and saturate that with water, and then just put like a plastic, you know, egg crate on top of that and sit the eggs directly on top of the plastic. So they're not touching the moisture, or, you know, but it's really humid. And I set the chondro eggs up just like the ball pythons, you know.
That's crazy.
Pretty much treat them the same. Yeah, hatching them is you know, not that you know, not that difficult. Getting the babies going is where it's, you know, that's where chondros are the toughest. You know, you can feed 50 baby ball pythons in, you know, an hour. It's like nothing. But feeding 50 baby chondros, that's like you know, several hours over the course of a week, you know, every night to do that.
It's I mean, I this might knock on some damn wood. This might be my first share at like having a clutch more than one that I have to fucking feed as far as chondros go. And, you know, I'm looking for that kind of struggle, because the struggles make you stronger. Am I right? I mean, you wouldn't be where you're at if it wasn't for, you know, countless nights of you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you have any moments where you just want to pull your hair out because you just can't?
Oh, fuck yeah. All the time.
Dude.
Had one last night, you know. It just
still having them. That's the thing. People ask, like, when do you become an expert? I'm like, you don't. Like, you always go through shit. Like, shit's always gonna fail on you. Like, like maybe not as much. I feel like some people do have better luck in a sense, or they're just dialed in. You know what I mean? But either way, even the most dialed in people have shit go south on them. It's
sure, yeah. It's gonna happen.
It's when it's gonna go down. So, I remember. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a lot more of that with green tree pythons than with ball pythons. Ball pythons. I think I've had one get sick ever. That I had to give shots to, and it recovered, and it's been fine ever since. And that's the only problem I've ever had. And it's not the same with green trees. The females, the prolapses, it's a lot harder snake to deal with in that regard.
You just have to battle regret in your mind a lot. Even though you don't regret it, it's like, fuck. It's like, why?
Yeah, why am I doing this?
But then, if you go to Red Mountain Herps Instagram page, which link in the description below, you will see why he does this. This guy's animals are amazing. They're gorgeous. You just post a most recent neonate red chondro, or I don't know.